The guy with the blowtorch. Well done. You just destroyed 50,000 master tapes. You fucking moron. Why did you have a blowtorch around asphalt shingles? That is the first thing you get taught when you have a blowtorch. Do not be around asphalt shingles.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
If you had a blowtorch.
I've seen someone use one.
You say things so confidently sometimes, but then upon further investigation, it seems...
Because you're not meant to investigate. The point of saying it confidently is everyone just agrees with you because they think you know what you're talking about.
Okay.
So that's why you don't probe when someone's being confident.
I've known you long enough to whenever you start saying this moron, I'm like, Brad doesn't really know what he's talking about right now.
The Year Is with Red and Bobby.
Welcome to the Year Is podcast, the podcast where every episode, me, comedian Bobby Mair,
and me, Red Richardson,
we travel back to a year in history. We talk about the weirdest, the most interesting, the most fucked up things from that year.
Indeed we do. Bobby, you have a cold, probably coronavirus.
I don't have a cold. I had a cold. Now my voice just sounds weird.
Yeah, when you're driving to Cardiff to spread it to the Welsh.
No, that's not what's happening. Are we still supposed to, if we had a cold, just stay indoors?
I think
forever?
we are, yeah. I think we are.
That's insane. The economy,
well,
no one can afford.
The economy, yeah, we said this from the beginning, and you were like, no.
What?
When you were isolating, I was out there protesting.
Oh, really?
Anti-mask, anti-vax.
No, you were.
I wasn't. I've been jabbed 3 times. I wore a mask.
You were terrified of COVID.
I wasn't at all. I got it twice, and it didn't matter. I was worried about COVID before I went to Thailand.
Yeah,
I didn't care about it.
That's what I mean. You called me after having a 24-hour panic attack in Thailand because you were so worried you're going to get COVID.
Yeah, but that's because I would have been locked up for 10 days, not on a holiday. I wouldn't care about COVID outside of that.
Really? But I mean, I saw a lot of pictures of like... You should have been all the young dead people, all the like where you're like, oh my god, I can't believe a 30-year-old died of COVID. They all looked quite a bit like you. I mean, you should have had some fear.
Well, this is interesting, Bobby, because the year we're doing today is 2008.
Okay.
And do you know what word came into existence for the first time in 2008?
No.
Fat shamer.
Really?
Yes, 2008. The first time anyone ever said that was it you?
No, I mean,
they were talking about.
I think I do fat shame.
Yes, you do.
Occasionally.
However, 5 times a podcast.
However, I don't think generally the people who come up who fat shame, who do the bad thing, are then the ones that come up with the term to describe the bad thing.
No, I meant someone looked at you. You were on a bus. There was a crying woman on the bus. She had a walking stick because she was fat. Husband's left her. She works a minimum wage job. Her boss has just sacked her, and you're behind her going, fatty, 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 while she just goes,
I would never do that. All I did...
And so went, that's a fat shamer.
All I did was point out that generally people with your body type are the people that died of COVID, which is a fact. Because you said you're not afraid. You weren't afraid. You were never afraid.
I got it twice.
You were so afraid.
I didn't even know.
I
didn't even know. I was out doing deliveries during COVID, so you were in here going, I'm so scared.
This is revisionist history. None of this is true.
I did. I was doing deliveries.
Yeah, that's an on-foot outdoor job.
It doesn't matter. You still have to go on public transport. You're still dealing with people.
Oh, really?
You were locked in here, peering out of your curtains, going, oh no, the flu might get me.
That's not what happened.
Well, anyway.
Isn't there like 1 million dead? What's the number? Like
a lot of people died. Do you know another term that came into existence in 2008?
No.
Anti-vaxxer.
Really?
Bitcoin. First time anyone's used the word Bitcoin. 2008.
I'm a bit uncomfortable.
Why?
You've rushed really into the year.
Okay.
We haven't even traveled to the year.
Okay, we'll slow down.
You rushed in.
You want to talk about your special being released, don't you?
Well, there's good news.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about 2008. I want to talk about 2022.
Now.
The year I released a special less than 48 hours ago.
Yeah.
And that special, at this point, is pushing 20,000 views in a day. By the time this is released, it might be one of the most popular videos on YouTube.
On YouTube.
New
Ganman style.
YouTube.
Yeah. So what, you got 20,000, that's 6 9/11s you've got for your special.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that is very good. So keep watching and sharing. and then we can get it to 10 9/11s by the end of the weekend.
Now, you know what?
Mm.
If they haven't watched and shared already,
Mm-hmm.
fuck them. Fuck them. If they weren't there from the beginning for me.
We released it on Wednesday morning, which I thought was a mistake because who's going to watch that on Wednesday morning? I think you'll see people watching on the weekend. They'll go, oh, what could I do this weekend? I could watch Bobby Mair, Cockroach on
I don't know if
YouTube."
people ever plan to watch a YouTube video. I
No,
don't
it
think
just
people are
comes
like, I'm going to watch this YouTube video in 2 days when I have a spare hour. Nobody thinks like that.
No, you never go on YouTube with a plan, do you?
No, so it does. You just have to bombard them. But yeah, has it changed me being a YouTube success? No,
No.
but do I need to change? Maybe.
Maybe you do.
Ask me questions about like what it's like to be a YouTube success.
What's it like to be a YouTube success, Bobby?
No, not that specific question.
How did you feel? Do you feel under new pressure in your life, going to the shops and stuff? What if you bump into one of the 17,000?
A lot of them in America, actually. I have a lot of American success. So
So you're stateside.
I'd have to take my private plane, get to
Broke America.
the States.
Mhm.
I'd land. 6 9/11s of people would pick me up and carry me to wherever I'm going.
Yep.
They'd say, "We watched 16 minutes of your 45-minute special."
The funny thing is, I never watch a full video.
No, it tells you the numbers, and that does bring you
don't
back
look
down.
at those stats.
You got it.
All you got to think is 17,000 people just
Yeah,
sat
yeah.
there for an hour going, yes.
Yeah, but then you also think, wow, what videos have I clicked on and watched where at the end of it I thought, what am I doing with my life? That's most of the time I spend on YouTube. I'll watch a video and think, is this really how I'm going to spend my time? Like, is that the feeling they're having afterwards? Are they having the feeling of elation?
Yeah.
Are they fucking their wives?
No. I think sometimes it will go on in the background. It is weird when you go, I wonder who, like someone could listen to this podcast and they could be like sawing a hand off someone while they're listening. Do you know what I mean? You do think, who's the worst person who listens to us?
Yeah. They're just like, they're really jittery about like if they're finally going to get caught. And they're just like bunkered down to their house and they're like, new episode. Okay, I'll listen to that.
Listen to this.
Hopefully I get to the end this time before the cops get here, boys.
Someone's listening to this.
And luckily those fingernails have stopped scraping under the floorboards to distract me.
Yeah. Statistically, someone is having an affair and they feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
You will get caught.
I think about this all the time.
Mm.
So, 17 years in comedy, I've been on stage in front of, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of people. Yeah. I have entertained murderers for sure.
Yep.
Secret murderers. I'm talking people who haven't been caught. Secret pedophiles.
Ones that have been caught as well, probably.
Yeah, well, Red. Fans are fans.
Yeah, no, of course.
I'm talking about, but like, just like every kind of criminal you can imagine, every kind of deviant.
Yeah.
I've probably entertained a man who just is wearing a suit and looks normal, but underneath is wearing an adult diaper, and during my set just shits his pants while smiling. That's anything you can imagine that has happened.
Of the 17,000 who watch your show, someone's probably like a terrible husband, done some serious crimes, and you did a joke and he went, you made him feel happy.
That's good.
Something appealed about what you said, appealed to him, and he went,
well, you got to think if you bring more joy into people's lives, maybe they'll make better decisions. Maybe my special is the antidote to crime. And your special that's going to be filmed, I feel like, not like an older brother, more just like a father. Like I've given you the way.
Okay.
Like to 17,000
Well, what's interesting,
views.
that one of my favourite comments under your special was someone wrote, I've forgotten their name, but thank you very much for this, I'm getting it framed. They wrote, Bobby Mair is the Robin to Red Richardson's Batman. What are you pointing at?
There's a present for you next to you.
Oh, shit. Okay. Listeners, Jody placed a present by me at the start of this episode. I don't know what it is, but I will open it. The suspense. Oh, that's brilliant. It's a framed YouTube comment that says, Bobby Mair is the Robin to Red Richardson Batman. The show is hilarious. I saw him on tour in Birmingham. He's talking about Bobby, where I opened, actually. Thank you very much. Whose idea was this, guys?
That was yours. You said you had it framed and you were recording today. So,
Who got it framed?
well, me obviously.
Oh, good
Yeah.
work. And we can put that there.
Yeah.
We can put it up there, or I take it home.
We'll decide where to put it.
Okay, thank you
We
very
don't
much.
necessarily need it on display. It can go behind you. It's not going behind me. It's not going behind me.
That's Richard G. Richard G, you've been framed for the podcast. Thank you very much. I liked another guy who said, just watch E-Bomb's World's Worst Comedian. Actually be really funny.
Fuck everyone.
That's great. I hadn't heard that one.
Anyone who doesn't know, Bobby was called the worst comedian in the
That's
world.
not what
by
we're talking about. That was the last time I went viral.
You went viral.
Last time I went viral was the worst comedian. This time I went viral for being the best
Yeah, you
comedian.
bounced back. You're a real yo-yo.
It's 17,000. It's not viral yet.
No, but it's a lot for YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, it's a hell of a lot. I know comedians who are bragging about, less numbers after a month. So,
What can I say?
I know, I was kind of shocked by the...
You were shocked.
Well, no, but just the Want to know another word that was coined in 2008?
I'm ready to go to 2008.
Okay. Oh my God, look, it's Bobby. How old is he here? 32? God, he looks younger than he does now. Burner phone.
Well,
There was no word for burner phone until 2008. Anyone who doesn't know what a burner phone is, it's a SIM card phone, not a SIM, like a Nokia phone.
untraceable.
Untraceable.
And then
pay as
probably
you go.
became traceable.
Pay as you go, and you use it to cheat on your wife or buy drugs or sell drugs. Or it's basically a criminal phone, isn't it? So if you find your partner with another mobile phone they don't know about, that you don't know about, sorry, they're doing something bad.
I don't think to cheat you need a new phone. You just need a...
You just change the name of the person to a colleague's name, and so they text, and you go, "Oh yeah, it's Bobby texting me."
But then you've still sent like photos of like your own asshole to someone, and then your wife's like, "What? You're sending photos of your asshole to John in accounts?"
And you go, "Oh, I got him in Secret Santa, and I'm low on money." So I thought that was all I could do.
I thought that'd be better.
Yeah. So burner phone. Another word coined in 2008 was mansplain.
I think we could have called this podcast "Mansplain."
I don't think so. Because mansplain is talking. We educate people in a.
Mansplaining, the people mansplaining
Well, if we
think
had a
they're
woman
educating.
if we had a woman on the show, and every time she spoke, we went, "Well, do you know what a burner phone is?" She goes, "Yeah, it's a phone." You go, "No, it's a phone for when." So we don't have a woman on the show, so we can't actually mansplain. It's impossible. And women don't listen to this show. Let's be honest.
They do. Don't say.
With about 4% of our listenership is female.
No, that's not true. I met when we were on tour, I met like so many women who liked this podcast.
Mhm.
So
I don't remember that.
I do actually.
This tour with all the women.
Yeah. Well, when I'm on tour, it's a lot like,
Yeah.
like Britney Spears. There's just a lot of like,
Well, Britney Spears. Talking of pop stars, Bobby.
okay.
This is a big one. And I want to ask you about this because you could have done something. You could be a billionaire now. Justin Bieber officially signed to Def Jam Music Group in 2008. Where the fuck were you?
2008. Well,
You had a gold mine in your family, who people who don't know, I'm sure you already do. Justin Bieber is Bobby Mair's cousin.
yeah. So I don't really listen. He grew up like a half hour from where I grew up.
Yeah, jump on a bus.
They don't have buses. There's no bus.
What, in Canada? Ride a moose.
Okay. The problem is,
Mm.
I didn't really. By the time I knew who he was, he
Mhm.
was already going. I didn't have
that's a
time to
shame.
get into the entourage
You didn't look. Well, I would just
because
think.
he went viral a couple times, and then,
Do you remember people going, "Oh, your cousin's going viral"?
but the people didn't know it was my cousin because my Bieber is my grandma's name, my grandparents' last name.
Mm.
But it wasn't like nobody. I just didn't. By the time I knew about him, he was like. I remember a moment where I knew who he was, kind of, and then the next week he was performing at the White House.
So you didn't have family members going, "Oh, your cousin's doing so well."
Yeah, but like there's people now where they'd go as viral today as he went then, but nobody cares because
No,
they go
'cause it's
viral
like-
because it's not as
doesn't mean
special.
anything. But yeah, I just imagine you looking across your room at Christmas or something and going, seeing this like blonde-haired, blue-eyed singing kid and going, that's where the money is.
I mean, I wish I just.
Had you have known, you would have gone to that family and gone, do you need any help? Like, let me do the gardening and then just make friends with Justin.
If I could travel back in time, do you know what I'd do?
Well,
I'd just get to know him as a kid
yeah.
and change nothing else. Just be his friend.
Yeah.
And then he blows up. And then once in a while he tweets about his cousin Bobby. And that's all I'd need.
Yeah.
'Cause
Imagine
people-
if you tweeted about your special.
Because people would be like, oh yeah, Bobby's it's Justin Bieber's cousin. But he's actually funny.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
actually, if you're a comedian and you're Justin Bieber's cousin, the expectations would be so low.
Yeah. They'd expect you to be awful.
And then you're like, no, he's pretty good.
Yeah. Despite what E-Bombs World said.
Listen, who cares about E-Bomb? I'm a YouTube man. That's what I've realized.
Yeah.
I'm not an E-Bombs World man.
It is weird. We noticed with this podcast, like when we had Rosie Holt on and we put a clip of her on Instagram and YouTube, she got loads of abuse, but then the same clip was put on Twitter and we just got abuse. So it's just two different worlds, you know?
Yeah, two horrible worlds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, YouTube, I think, is a better world based on
Actually,
how
they
they're-
accused us of mansplaining. They said we talked over her.
I watched the clip. We did. We
Yeah,
did
we
talk
did,
over
yeah.
her, yes. We
Yeah.
did.
She'd
They
started-
weren't wrong.
No, they weren't
It's like
wrong.
it's funny to invite a guest on and then they start trying to go, yeah, anyways, yeah.
All right, it's not all about you.
Yeah.
Whoa, someone's cocky. Yeah, we shouldn't have clipped that bit up, Jody.
That was a Jody mistake.
Yeah, it was a big.
So that was
joke.
nice that Jody got you that present, even though it's hurtful to me.
It is nice. Thank you very much, Jody.
Jody.
I'm sure that's coming out of expenses.
Yeah, he'll
it'll
invoice
probably
me for it
$6
in a
grand,
week. Oh, it took my time, actually, so I'd like to be recuperated for my time. Oh, really, Jody?
Very expensive envelope as well.
Oh, well, Jody, I'm sure you just stole the envelope from someone that mailed it to you. Now you're going to pretend you bought it, but we can't prove you didn't buy the envelope, so I'll give you the 30p, you weirdo.
This is what my life is now. I've got a framed YouTube comment that I'm going to hang on my wall.
Yeah, that's
bad.
No, what's bad is you'll actually feel good doing
Oh,
it.
of course I will. I'll go every time I walk past it. Yeah, you sent it to me. And the hell, Joe? Did you just elbow your own phone? Why did you do that?
Because I'm clumsy.
He's wild and out of control.
Yeah.
By the way, have you got that job that you're leaving us for? What's going on with that?
Yeah, I do.
You've
Yeah.
got the job?
Yeah.
You piece of shit. You didn't tell us. Did you know this?
I know that I've encouraged Jody because I want Jody, if he's not busy.
Did you know he's got the job?
I knew there was other jobs at play. He can do both jobs.
Yeah, well, when I told Harry about it, I was like, oh, yeah, I've got this side hustle doing this other podcast. And she was like, well, no, if the other podcast is paying you, then this one is now the side hustle.
So we're now the side hustle.
I wouldn't say that. My heart is here, but my bank account is somewhere else.
I see.
Yeah,
What are they paying you?
enough.
Fuck. He's a sneaky beast, isn't he?
Hmm.
I knew this would happen. Well, a fire broke out in Universal Studios Hollywood, resulting in widespread damage and reportedly destroying up to 175,000 master recordings made by 700 artists from the 1930s to the 2000s. The full extent of the damage was not made public until 2019. Basically, they had all these like master tapes of like the world's most amazing ever singers like locked in this vault. A huge fire broke out. The fire began when a worker used a blowtorch to warm asphalt shingles. Well, that doesn't sound like a good idea. And he left before checking all the spots had been cooled, and the whole place just burnt to the ground. But what they did is they lied to musicians. So they lied about the extent of the fire because they're like, we've got like Chuck Berry like tapes here and all these amazing singers. There were some shit singers who were like, my tapes, and you're like, shut up, no one cares. Counting Crows. Bryan Adams was like, and you're like, Bryan Adams, we don't need more of you, you know? Yeah, that's not a disaster.
He's a great singer.
He can, that song in Robin Hood, fine. But yeah, we don't need more of that, do we?
But what happened then?
So this guy was using a blowtorch.
Okay, but they lost them, and then they lied to the artist.
They lied to the artist and said, "Oh, we've misplaced your stuff." So they really downplayed the fire, and then in 2019 it all came out.
That they had lost
Lost
how
all-
many?
Nirvana stuff. Oh, 50,000
50,000
master
masters.
tapes. Yeah, they lost Nirvana stuff. They lost Beck, Smash Mouth, Tupac Shakur, Tom Petty, Steve Earle, Soundgarden, Hole.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's fucking bad.
I feel like most of those bands have digital backups.
John Coltrane, Muddy Waters, Ahmad Jamal. Not heard of him, but I'm sure he's fantastic. All of catalogs of Nashborough Records, Chess Records, Decca Records. We know the Stones and stuff like that. REM, Les Paul, Sheryl Crow,
Well, I mean,
Elton John, Michael McDonald.
Elton John.
Yeah. White Zombie. Don't know who that is.
I do feel like that Spotify has all of Elton John's master recordings also.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. But these are like the originals. I don't really get
Yeah,
it.
the original. Well, it's probably like on tape or something.
But I'm sorry. Don't keep your bloody.
If I had in my possession, like even if I owned a company and they owned Nirvana's master recordings, I'd be like, can we just keep those in my house? Like, who's just leaving Nirvana's master recordings in some warehouse?
Well, Kurt obviously wasn't around to overlook that. Oversee that.
Give them to me.
But yeah, so the guy with the blowtorch, well done. You just destroyed 50,000 master tapes. You fucking moron. Why did you have a blowtorch around asphalt shingles? That is the first thing you get taught when you have a blowtorch. Do not be around asphalt shingles.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
If you had a blowtorch.
I've seen someone use one.
You say things so confidently sometimes, but then upon further investigation, it seems...
Because you're not meant to investigate. The point of saying it confidently is everyone just agrees with you because they think you know what you're talking about.
Okay.
So that's why you don't probe when someone's being confident.
I've known you long enough that whenever you start saying this moron, I'm like, Fred doesn't really know what he's talking about right now.
Well, yeah. Would you use a blowtorch around asphalt shingles?
I don't know. Why? Probably.
Very silly. Would you use a blowtorch and then not make sure everything's gone out before you leave? Clock off.
Well, you know what? I don't think I would.
No. This is like the Chernobyl guy who left the door open. Not that happened, but it might have. However the hell that. We covered it on this podcast. It was so many years ago, I can't remember now. Yeah, this is a bit like that, You leave work, do, and then they go, excuse me, you've just destroyed 50,000 master copies from 1930 up until now.
I wish I was the kind of person where someone would tell me that and I'd go, I don't give a fuck.
Maybe you
and
did.
then just leave. Maybe you didn't care.
Maybe you didn't care at all. You got to get over it somehow. Slayer. Thing is, I'm not huge on any of these bands, to be honest.
Well, it didn't affect you. That's
no, it didn't.
You've spread the news, but you've thought, wait, actually, I don't really care.
Tom Petty's wife suing. Yeah, I don't really care.
I love Tom.
Yeah,
Petty.
he's got some great songs, but we've got them.
Yeah.
His other song that might have died in the master might have been him saying the N-word 100 times. He was about to release it.
Let's.
He had this. He went, "I'm going to show everyone who I really am."
Tom Petty was like, "Listen, when I died, let everyone know I was a racist."
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Release this.
I want to be a posthumous racist.
Yeah.
I don't want to be alive when I express my racism. I'd like it to be a bomb that goes off when I'm dead.
Yeah.
But Tom, but you want people to remember you fondly. If you're aware enough to know you shouldn't feel this way. I feel how I feel, and listen, I know it's wrong, so I don't want to be shamed in life. I would rather my family is shamed once I'm dead. Then they stop getting invited to parties. Everyone's uncomfortable accepting. Charities are uncomfortable accepting my money.
No royalties can be made. I can't be in adverts.
My children look at the ground when my name is mentioned. That's my legacy. Shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, my kids will. My son will take his wife's last name for a fresh start and live his whole life as a wife-led cuck.
Yeah.
Just to avoid being a petty.
His Confederate racist album of 12 of the most horrific country tracks.
Yeah.
You can imagine. Around in 2000, so I remember this.
You remember 2008?
I don't remember the fire. Do you ever hear about this? I haven't.
I remember.
Yeah, I heard about the fire. Yeah.
Why did you hear about the fire, Jody? You didn't have a
I-
job as a blowtorch man.
Well, not now, but I might have done.
Yeah, back in
Yeah.
the day.
Yeah.
Jody's a DJ.
He lost his hair in the fire.
Oh yeah, remember.
Trying to save
in
a
2
Tom
weeks,
Petty
we're going to
song.
reveal
Mm.
what Jody looks like.
Oh,
So we've just given a hint.
Oh, no, you've already said it.
Oh, yeah.
In 2000, so Lily Allen, the singer, got offered to do a concert, and they said, "We can't give you money. We'll pay you Bitcoin." Jody, I'm going to need a quick Google from you, my man. She got offered.
Wait, what was that? You can't just demand Jody Google things.
I can now. He's leaving. I'll treat him
not
I'll treat him
leaving.
the same way he treats me now.
He's not leaving.
With
What
his-
about giving you presents?
Well, you did give me a present. Jody, my man, I was polite. I didn't say pull that up, Jody. How'd you ask? Jody, can you please Google Lily Allen Bitcoin concert?
Wow, it's amazing that you've learned how to be polite in that moment.
I've been nice to Jody since the start, and all he's done is stab me in the back. Can we announce what your podcast is that you're moving on
No.
to? Oh, for fuck's sake.
The thing about Jody is you said you've been nice to him
Yeah.
since the start.
Mm.
Jody was raised under floorboards. He doesn't respond to niceness.
Okay. Well, then, why
he
were you-
sees niceness as a threat. If you want Jody to feel safe,
Hit him.
you have to hit him in with a belt,
Oh, God,
Ta-
stop it.
chain him to a radiator, and throw baby food at him every 48 hours.
You know,
That's the only way Jody feels safe.
You know, Boy George is
You
on
throw
drugs.
you throw a glass bottle of like one of those glass canisters of baby food at him. It shatters everywhere. He picks the baby food out of the glass, gets a bit of the glass in his mouth while he swallows.
And then he's just got dust and milk on his tongue.
Yeah, but then he gets a rush
Mm.
of I feel at home.
Yeah, okay.
Right, Jody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on.
So yeah, she said in 2014, about 5 years ago, someone asked me to stream a gig live on Second Life for hundreds of thousands of bitcoins. And today, or when this article was posted, Bitcoin was worth $43,000. That's equivalent to £31,415. But hasn't it tanked recently?
No. It went up to 120 million. What she was offered went up to
at the
120 million.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Bitcoin has went down, but
So
it's
in
still like
2008,
it's
she was-
still hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin. It's still a pile of money.
Yeah. No. So she was it was the worth was 120 million what it would have been. And she's like, I don't know what the fuck Bitcoin is. What I would have said the same thing. Can you imagine now? You're just like, oh God. Not good.
If she ever goes bankrupt, that'd be tough.
But when she was offered it, and she would have pocketed just £445 but she wouldn't have necessarily known to keep it.
Yeah.
No, she would have been like, oh, what?
Mm.
They go, oh, by the way, this is worth 440 quid. And so she was offered 200,000 Bitcoin.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was like when I read the article, it was like 125 mil.
Oh no, it says it on Indiegogo. This article, its recent value is estimated at a whopping 9.2 billion.
Fucking hell.
Lily Allen. If she made two choices, which were to say yes and then just store it, she'd be one of the richest people in the world.
Yeah. Let's just say she had trouble smiling when she read that news.
What?
She has a song called Smile. That was a very good joke.
Bobby didn't get it, and I didn't give you the time of day.
Oh,
Sorry.
for fuck's sake. Go record your other podcast, Jody. Right, what else have we got? Bobby, you'll like this because you're a sick freak. April 19th, one of the daughters of Elizabeth Fritzl got seriously sick, coming to light the case of Josef Fritzl after 24 years of prison in the basement.
Red,
Mm.
you don't have to tell me about Josef Fritzl.
No, I'm sure I don't.
I know loads.
Yep, okay, go on. What's your favourite thing about him?
No, let's go into this.
Okay. So he was in love with his daughter.
Well, that's a disgusting term to use. Red,
He was
Red,
passionately in
Red,
love.
when someone abuses their daughter from a young age, and then I think at the age of like 16, builds a dungeon, locks them in the dungeon
Mm-hmm.
for 24 years, I believe, rapes them every day, has 6 children with them, 3 of which he lets be raised in the upstairs with him and his wife, where he tells his wife his daughter was in a cult and keeps leaving kids at the doorstep. The other 3 children were raised in the bunker with his daughter. They never get to see the sun. They also are very anemic and hunched over because the ceiling isn't high enough.
What you're saying is you can love someone too much.
What I'm saying is, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't call that love.
It's like Titanic with DiCaprio's character, but Kate Winslet's his daughter. That's how much he loved his daughter.
No. He's a monster.
He's a complete monster. We agree.
Also, it's crazy at the end. What got him
Mm.
is the small amount of humanity that he showed.
Why?
Because
He took him to hospital.
the youngest daughter was, or one of the daughters was sick
Mm-hmm.
because she'd been raised in a dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna have its. If you never see the sun, it has some physical effects on your body.
Yeah.
So she wasn't doing well.
Was their brother allowed out to record a podcast daily?
Yeah. Yeah, so there's a brother in the corner.
Jody just goes back to the dungeon every time we finish. See you later.
Listen, we'll go into who Jody was in the family in a second, but he lets
The
her. He
loyal
lets the
son.
daughter out. He has a bit of this tiniest amount of humanity, and he lets well, his daughter with his daughter
Mm-hmm.
out, and you know,
She's in hospital.
she's in hospital, and I think they snuck a note in.
Fuck.
I remember reading that and thinking, what the fuck?
No.
What?
It was one of those bad ones that everyone's instantly making jokes about.
But how, from a logistical point of view, how are you this organized? Do you know how much effort it would take to keep 4 people alive in your basement without anybody noticing?
Well, the wife knew. Sure.
The wife didn't know anything.
Really?
I think he was a very abusive man.
Yeah.
And also, nobody was allowed in the basement. And he built a fucking prison behind
Was
like a
it
bookcase or
soundproof?
something. Yeah. He sound reinforced
The
it.
wife must have thought the house was haunted.
Yeah, everybody did. He had lodgers.
Why does the ghost sound like your own daughter?
He was so brazen.
Did he have lodgers?
He had lodgers.
Fucking
And
imagine.
they'd say
being
they'd
that-
hear like knocks and stuff sometimes, and just think, oh, I wonder where that was.
Really?
Yeah, he didn't give a fuck, man.
Oh my god.
That guy. The thing is, hard-working man. Josef Fritzl worked hard for his goals. His goals were just the worst goals. If I had his goals, no, not his goals.
If you had his
If I had his work ethic and applied it to my own life, I'd be doing all right.
Yeah.
Everybody can learn a little something from him, and everyone can learn what also what not to do.
I think most people know that's not. I think instinctively.
Yeah, hopefully your instincts tell you to not kidnap and impregnate
It's
your
not
own
like
daughter.
when that happened, thousands of men went, "Oh shit, is that wrong? Sorry," and just opened up the basement.
Yeah.
Come on, come out.
Yeah, it was that story blew. I was like, what?
Well, it was such a big story.
Well, the upstairs children, when you say the wife knew, the children upstairs obviously didn't know about the downstairs children. So there's 3 kids who were raised above their mother and siblings, trapped below them in a dungeon, who had no idea. And then one day somebody had to sit them down and be like, hey, you guys have had okay lives, haven't you? And they're like, yeah, I mean, Grandpa's a bit fucking weird, but, you know, I don't know. He disappears all the time. We don't have to see him that much. Why? What's happened? Okay, you're not going to believe this. You know, your mom, we said she was in a cult, yes? She's actually been in the basement the whole time. Like,
Fucking
what the
hell.
fuck?
Oh god. Yeah.
But, you know, apparently, since it happened, Elizabeth, that's the lady. They've never released a photo of her or the kids.
Well, Billie Eilish has changed her name and became nuts.
You think Billie Eilish is
No, I'm
Elizabeth
joking.
Fritzl?
When lockdown happened, then we were all whinging about it. They must have just been like, shut up.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like, fuck you.
Also, it was crazy because there was one of the sons in the dungeon, like you said, one of the boys, the third boy in the dungeon. I think the oldest. It's amazing he lived for as long as he did
Yeah.
because he didn't have a thyroid.
No way.
Yeah, he didn't have a thyroid.
He was the lookout, wasn't he, for the dad?
Yeah, well, he was a co-conspirator with Joseph, but didn't have a thyroid. And if the others kind of got near the door, he'd say, "Get the fuck away from the door."
Go, Daddy,
And
they're trying to leave.
The family kind of pushed him out, but luckily we can say
And they couldn't charge him because he didn't have a thyroid.
Yeah, he's went into podcasting, and
He's got 2 now, apparently.
yeah. 2 podcasts,
Side hustle.
no thyroid.
I hate that we were Jody's life, now we're his side hustle. Oh, God, all right. But taste of fame, and look at him. He's gone mad. This is weird. It's kind of in keeping with what we're talking about. And by the way, is Fritzl alive? Sorry, just before we move on. Is he dead yet?
Right.
What's his wife doing? I wonder if she's on Tinder.
Only-
Because she'd be the most gullible woman. You could get away with absolutely anything with her.
Only the good die young, is what they say.
Yeah.
So no.
He'll be alive to 125.
He's still going. I did wonder if he ever would be like, could we do joint custody?
Oh,
They'd be
God.
Like, no, I don't.
If he lives to 126, I go, what's the secret for a long life? He goes, well, it's just locking up me. That's enough from you, buddy. Thank you very much. Is he dead, Jody?
No, he's still alive and he's starting a podcast.
No, he's not. From jail.
That's the one I'm going to go work on. That's why.
Oh, I see. I I wonder what he's up to. Like, well, he's obviously in prison, but what does he read? Do you know what I mean?
I think he's a reader.
Mm.
He's a doer.
He
He's not
is a
like
doer.
he's not like a learner. He's just doing.
It's good he's in prison now.
It's really where he belongs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Channel Island of Sark.
The what?
The Channel Island of Sark. Do you know where Sark is?
Sark?
Sark. Yeah, my sister actually went there recently. Sark.
That's shitty. Where is it?
It's off England. A British Crown dependency holds its first fully democratic elections under a new constitutional arrangement, becoming the last European territory to abolish feudalism. This is 2008. So they had a feudal system up until 2008. So you could be like the Baron of Sark, or you could be a peasant and you couldn't rise above your rank. I quite like the sound of this if you're born into the right family. Anyway, do you know what a feudal system is?
Yeah. It's like a system where people were in it.
You're born into a certain class and you stay there.
Yeah, it's not.
So you have like nobles and then you have the peasant class. So they had a feudalism until 2008. So you could literally go and you'd be like someone in a field picking carrots and they're never allowed to do anything else.
That's crazy.
And it's just off England. Sark is...
So it's still, but they
abolished it in 2008.
did they actually have it though? Like, if you went there in 2006, where people were like, I was a fruit picker, and my father was a fruit picker.
Yeah,
and
of course.
My father's father
Cars
was a
are
fruit
banned from the
picker.
roads.
Why do you need roads then?
I don't know.
Well, these are. If a car can't go on a road, it's a sidewalk.
Yeah, well, it's that you can only use a tractor, a bicycle, or a horse-drawn vehicle. No cars at all. It's kind of like in between England and France, Sark.
Are you telling me that a Channel Island, Red, is in between England and
Well,
France?
yeah, you didn't know where it was, did you?
Well, it's.
I said it's off England. It could have been off Manchester in between.
You
It
said
could have been off Liverpool.
You
between,
said Channel Island. It's in the channel. If it's a Channel Island.
Well, I was just explaining to you because sometimes you miss stuff. And so I was just trying to get you on board. But it looks quite nice, actually. But that's just bizarre that until 2008, you could literally just be like a baron of your town. And everyone like has to work and bring you carrots.
Was there anybody doing that though?
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Was there...
They abolished it in 2008.
I wonder how it affected people. I'm sorry, my lord. You must get a job.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Well, they had to do it because it was necessary to comply with the European Convention of Human Rights. It's actually like it's illegal what you're doing, you know.
Yeah.
I wonder there must still be uninhabited islands that we could have a look at, maybe off the coast of England and buy.
Red, if I'm gonna buy an island,
It won't be off the coast of England.
no, Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, how's your island? Well, it rains a lot. Like, oh, maybe tropical.
Yeah.
The thing about buying an island is there's always the risk that in 5 years it's beneath the sea. You know.
Johnny Depp's got an island.
Okay.
That sounds good. Off the Caribbean.
That's oh yeah, I'd like that.
Yeah, that sounds brilliant.
Maybe let's go on Google Maps and just try to find one no one's seen yet.
Well, there'd be loads like Papua New Guinea, off there,
Yeah.
around like Fiji. There's probably like just
Yeah. And then you just get a group of like-minded
But you could honestly
people.
probably buy a rock or thing with a bit of sand around it, probably for not that like.
Yeah, it's not crazy, but
And then we start our own feudal system on there. We lure people out.
yeah, and get them to.
And we go, this is the rules here. And then if they we go, no, these are the rules. Rules are there.
Sorry, we worm pick here and eat the worms. So start picking sandworms if you want dinner.
Buy a cheap island. 9 affordable islands. So, one's 79 grand. Oh, looks shit. Fucking hell.
How much is an island?
Gillis Island off Canada, Prince Edward Island, $79,999. I mean, at a push, we could get that. Get Harriet to get a few more jobs.
Yeah.
Rosie can work double shifts, and we can buy Gillis Island, 79 grand.
Wait, where is it?
Gillis Island, and then comma Prince Edward Island, Canada.
Oh yeah.
Looks quite nice. You could start a nice new life there.
How many acres is the island, or how big?
Rosie and Harriet washing our clothes amongst the shore.
Let me see. How big is this island?
It just looks like an island in the middle of a pond in the park.
Yeah, it really does.
It's just in Hyde Park.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. There's the above view.
We'd be attacked by weed-smoking kids every day. That looks okay. Little pod studio for us. Jodie can live in the marsh over there. Harbour Island, Nova Scotia, 208 grand. Bit more expensive, but nicer looking. Nicaragua, now we're talking. 2.5 acres, 350k.
Let me have a look.
And then you just have a boat that comes out with supplies.
Oh, that looks pretty good.
Yeah. $250,000. What's that in UK money?
£300,000, maybe.
Fuck, okay. So, we need like 2,000 more genius patrons every month.
Yeah.
And then we can live out our dream. It's funny when someone has an island, you go, why are you here? Why aren't you there, you know? Richard Branson has an island, and we covered that. Oh, that was brilliant. French Polynesia, $445,000. Thing is, that would buy you, in London, a single room where you had to shit and piss out of the window, and there'd be a bed drilled into the ceiling with a crap ladder.
Yeah.
And when you cooked, all the smoke would go into your bed. So if you made a bacon sandwich, your bed would stink of bacon. But you could buy an island for it, alternatively. So if I was a estate agent, I'd go, hey, why don't you just buy an island? And then you just fish. Alaska, 460k. That looks brilliant. So yeah, there we go, guys.
So you...
Let's start a feudal system. We'll defy international law. When they come over, we'll just go... to pretend we haven't been hitting you, to our servants. Jody will be the watcher for us.
Well, he was.
He'll pretend to be one of them, and he'll snitch.
He
to
was
us.
the watcher for Joseph.
Yeah,
He can be
he's
ours.
very
also.
good. He's world class.
Yeah, he is a world class watcher. But I would say the best way, Red. I would say I disagree with the idea that we'll treat anyone badly on the island. I think it'll be a really nice time if people should come.
Come live on the island. All your problems are gone.
Yeah.
All you have to do is put 50,000 in the island bank account because we are now a family.
Yeah.
Come to the sermon at the island round the fire, whilst Red and Bobby give a speech, and then slowly. Then
No,
it becomes
no.
a podcast.
You're saying
shit.
the quiet part loud
Edit
again.
that- Edit that out, Jody.
You keep saying the quiet part loud. The quiet part shouldn't be said at all. Whatever your nefarious plans you have for the people after they get to the island, you don't tell them ever until it's too late.
Yeah. Guys, we're going to have a really good time. There will be no worries. No capitalism. No worry about material stuff. You won't have any materials because it'll be in the family bank account,
Yes.
which we will share amongst all of us. Okay. Stock markets around the world plunge amid growing fears of a U.S. Great Recession fueled by the 2007 subprime mortgage crisis. Do you remember this?
Yeah, the subprime mortgage crisis didn't really affect me personally because
No.
I was so poor at the time that it just felt like, oh man, I'm poor, and now everyone else is getting poor.
But we're fucked again, aren't we?
Yeah, but I don't. Do you remember 2008? It was like, I get that when the economy crashes.
I was 18, so it didn't matter, you know.
When the economy crashes, it really does affect poor people. But then I was poor at that time, and it was like I was just like paying rent, bills included.
Yeah.
And I bought food and walked everywhere and sneaked on the bus. So, like, my expenses were so low. I think if you have a kid or something,
Yeah.
it can really fuck you. But, like, I was just like...
Well, if you're paying a mortgage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was living at home.
Wait, you're telling me, Red, that if you're paying a mortgage, it will be affected during the mortgage crisis?
Yeah. It
Yeah.
seems to be the match up.
Yeah, mortgage rates are going up now.
And what was it? They basically just lent money to anyone. People who couldn't afford it would get
Yeah.
massive mortgages.
I love that movie.
The Big Short.
Yeah.
So you basically go to the bank and go, I've got 10 grand. And they're like, well, how about you have a £2 million dream house with a drive and a swimming pool?
The
They
Big
go, I want this. You want it, don't you?
Every scene from The Big Short is incredible.
I've not actually seen it.
It's such a good film.
Who's in it again? Matthew McConaughey? No. Someone else.
Steve Carell,
Ah, yes. I get you. Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt, yeah.
Christian Bale. Christian Bale's awesome in it. Loads of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was reading about it, and they were just trying to work out, okay, how do we make this really boring subject interesting? So they did it like an MTV movie, and they just like cut away to things that kind of have nothing to do with it to kind of just explain what it's all about.
Okay. Might be a bit slick for me.
Red, it's a great movie. You'll like it.
I'll watch it and I'll report back next week. The jury is out on
It's
that
the
one.
story of a bunch of people trying to get rich.
That sounds good fun.
They're all trying to get rich, Red,
Mhm.
and they get rich when the economy collapses.
Okay.
So they're the rich ones. Then everyone else is really poor,
And what
but
do they
they're
do to
rich.
get rich when the economy collapses?
They bet that the economy is going to collapse, and no one believes them.
Ah, I see.
So that's it. They're like, hey, guys, the economy's going to collapse. And then everyone's like, no, it's not. And they're like, we bet this much money it will. And everyone's like, we'll take your bet. And then it collapses. And then
Yeah.
they're fucking rich.
Yes. Well, we've got that coming now, don't we? The recession next year.
Yeah. Pretty exciting things to look forward to.
There's a lot on the horizon. And on that bombshell, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you. I love you.
Our super geniuses, Spencer and Matthew, thank you very much. Keep your head up. It's a hard world out there. Subscribe to the Patreon.
Keep your dicks hard.
Join us in the island.
Goodbye.
Love you. Bye. That was another episode of The Year Is. Thank you very much for listening. Please like and subscribe. Leave us a review. It all helps. I'd like to thank our producer, Jody. And also I'd like to thank Josh Weller for our intro music and song. It's very catchy. It's very nice. I'm sure you'll enjoy it at the beginning. So big thanks for Josh Weller. He's on Instagram at Josh Weller. Josh Weller. Follow him and keep spreading the word of The Year Is. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.